Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We were discussing the chapter air, in which we have read that air is a mixture of gases. Air has many gases in it like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Beside this, air also contains water vapor and dust and smoke. Now we have read that air has 78% nitrogen and 21% of oxygen, and in rest 1% is carbon dioxide, smoke, dust and water vapor. Now we shall read activities to show the presence of each component of air. We shall start with the oxygen, that air contains oxygen. You know, oxygen is a gas that supports burning. So to prove that air contains oxygen, we will take a lighted candle, as you have seen in this figure. You can see here in the figure, take a lighted candle and insert a glass on it, a glass tumbler or a glass on it. After some time, you can see that the candle blows off. Why did it happen? Because the supply of air was restricted. The candle was covered with glass now, so oxygen also did not came inside the glass, and when the oxygen was all finished inside the glass, then no more oxygen can be received by this candle, so the candle stopped burning. This experiment shows that air contains oxygen and it is 21%, you know. Then next we shall discuss an experiment to show the proportion of oxygen and nitrogen in air. You know, 78% is nitrogen and 21% is oxygen. Means oxygen is 1/5 of the total air and nitrogen is 4/5 of the total air. Now to show this by experiment, we need a container, a gas jar stand, a candle, ink, a pencil and caustic soda solution. Now all you have to do is take a gas jar and leave some empty space from the open end. Paste a strip of paper along with the length of the jar. This you can see here in this figure, figure A. You place a strip of paper along the length of the jar and divide the paper strip into 5 parts and mark each of them. Like here it is marked 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then take a container and place the gas jar stand in it. Fill the container with 3/4 of water. You see, this is a container. You have filled 3/4 of it with water. Pour a solution of caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide, in this, and a few drops of ink in it, so that the water may become visible. Now light the candle. Now see, this is a candle. We will light it and fix the gas jar stand and cover it immediately with an inverted gas jar, another inverted gas jar like we have done previously. After burning for a while, the candle stops burning. Allow the setup to cool. Now remove the jar after closing it with a lid and place a burning matchstick in it. The matchstick blows off. What you will observe is, initially the level of the colored water in the gas jar rises to a mark 1. Initially the water level rises to mark 1. Then when the candle burns, the oxygen in the gas jar get used up by carbon dioxide, so it is absorbed by caustic soda solution, and this creates some gas space in the gas jar, and colored water rises to mark 1. It proves that out of 5th part of air is oxygen. We can also say that the amount of 1/5 of air by volume is oxygen. The remaining 4/5 does not support burning. So this part is nitrogen, because nitrogen gas does not support burning. Thus we can say that about 4/5 of the air is nitrogen. From this activity we conclude that oxygen and nitrogen are present in the ratio of 1:5, or 1/5 of the total volume of air is oxygen and 4/5 of the total air volume is nitrogen. Now the third activity is to show that air contains carbon dioxide. For this we need only some lime water. It is the property of lime water that when it is exposed to carbon dioxide, it turns milky. So you take some lime water in a plate and expose it to air. Since air contains carbon dioxide, so this lime water will come in contact with the carbon dioxide of the air, and this lime water will turn milky. Like you can see in this plate, the lime water has become white. When lime water turns milky, it shows the presence of carbon dioxide in the air. Next experiment is to show that air contains dust particles. This experiment, knowingly or unknowingly, you must have seen it in any home. When you get up in the morning and look at the ventilator and the sun is shining there outside, when you look at the ventilator of your room, you can see a shiny cone of dust or shiny rays of dust entering your room from the ventilator. Have you seen that? The same thing we are going to perform the experiment. All you need is a black chart paper and nothing else. Make a room completely dark by closing all the doors and windows and pulling down the curtains, and stick a black chart paper to the windows. Make a small hole in the black chart paper stuck to the window that faces the sun. A thin beam of light enters the darkened room through the small hole. You can see it in your bedroom also. When you get up in the morning, when all the doors and windows are closed, look from above from where the sun is coming from the ventilator, and you can see a beam of sunlight entering the dark room. And you can see many zigzag shining dust particle in this. Zigzag means indefinite path. The dust particle travels in a zigzag way, in an indefinite path. This activity shows that air contains dust particle. Now the next activity is to show the presence of air in water. Air has water also, water vapor also. How can we prove it? That air is dissolved in water. Air is in water. For this we need is a beaker, a tripod stand and a burner and some water. Take water in a beaker and keep it on a tripod stand. Heat the water slowly by using a Bunsen burner. You see that much before the water begins to boil, tiny bubbles appears on the inner side of the beaker. These bubbles comes from the air dissolved in water. Actually, when the water is heated, the solubility of air in it decreases. As a result, the air dissolved in water comes out in the form of tiny bubbles. When the dissolved gas gets removed through heating, the same water is heated again. After some time, we do not observe bubbles. On further heating, the water begins to boil and turns into vapor. This activity you can also do at your home. When you are making tea, you can see the same thing happens when you make tea at home. When you put the water on the gas stove to boil, you can see that much before the water begins to boil, tiny bubbles start appearing on the pan in which we have put the water. Have you seen it and noticed it? Now whenever you make tea at home, notice this. So from where these tiny bubbles comes, these bubbles comes from the air dissolved in water, and this shows that air is present in water. Then next activity is to show that that soil also has air. To show that soil also has air, you know that there are many living things that live inside the soil, like earthworms and other plant roots. They also get, from where do these earthworm and roots of the plant breathe? They breathe from the air which is between the soil particles. So to show that air is in soil, what you need is a beaker, some water and nothing else. Take some soil in a beaker and add some water in it and leave it for some time. After some time you can see some bubbles in the beaker. From where does these bubbles came from? These bubbles came from the air which was inside the soil. So this activity shows the presence of air inside the soil. You know, when the air in the soil is insufficient, when it is flood, then what happened? The earthworms comes out na, in the last chapter we have read, and the places where all the soil particles have less air, in marshy areas, the roots of the plant come above the ground. These are called pneumatophores, which we have read in the previous chapter, Getting to Know Plants, that they come out to breathe. So air is present in soil also for the breathing of roots and also for animals that live in burrows. Then next is how we will show that how is balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide maintained in nature. You know, oxygen is 21% of the total air, and carbon dioxide is only 0.03%. And carbon dioxide is, though it is a pollution creating gas, but it is a very important gas also. Why? Because carbon dioxide is needed by plants for making their food. If and only plants are autotrophs, they have only the capability to make their food. So the maintenance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is very necessary for the nature. Then how is this balance maintained? All animals and plants inhale oxygen from the air and release or exhale carbon dioxide, which goes into the air. Then green plant take this carbon dioxide from the air for making their food by the process of photosynthesis. They give out oxygen in return, you have read it, and in the process of respiration taking place during day, the oxygen released during photosynthesis is more than the oxygen used in respiration. Therefore, the net release of oxygen in the air, there is net release, no pollution, that is why. Then the burning of fuel also uses oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide, which is again taken by the plant to make their food. Then plant again utilize it for making their food and release oxygen, and again oxygen is created in the air. So we should grow more trees to make our environment free from all pollutions. And for avoiding pollution, we can also use cleaner fuels like CNG, that is compressed natural gas, instead of petrol and diesels, because they create a loss of smoke. And smokeless source of energy like tidal energy and solar energy can be used. We can also use lead free petrol. Then there is a very tragic harmful gas release case in the history of mankind, and that was Bhopal gas tragedy, which happened on 3rd of December 1984. On this day, it was an industrial disaster. It took place in Union Carbide subsidiary pesticide factory. This factory was of Union Carbide, which is a chemical used in making pesticide. It was a Union Carbide subsidiary pesticide plant in Bhopal. On 3rd of December 1984, it released 42 tons of toxic methyl isocyanate. Methyl isocyanate is very poisoning, and it exposed to more than 5 lakhs people to it. And about 8,000 of people died immediately within 2 weeks, and additional 8,000 would have died by gas related diseases. It is the world's worst industrial disaster. So we should be very cautious when we use sources of energy, natural sources of energy, because they are limited also, and we cannot make it again and again. So we should avoid it from any type of pollutants. Then we shall discuss about the uses of air. Air is uses in a number of ways. Like air is uses for things to fly, aeroplanes to fly, kites to fly. Air is used for sailing. Air is used for drying clothes. Air is used for balloons to blow. Then in water cycle also air is used. Wind energy is also a great source of energy. Then air is pollination of crops also. Air helps in pollination and seed dispersal. So, and it helps in burning also. So air is a very important component of nature. This is all for today's lecture.